Hello everyone, my name is Arun. Welcome to my channel. This series is a tutorial on C programming, and in this tutorial we'll be looking at some of the simple data types that are available in C. Now, variables are actually some memory allocations useful for storing data. Okay, and these data they can have different kinds of formats. They can be simple numbers or numbers with decimal parts, or characters, or large strings. Okay, so depending upon the character format, we have to create different types of variables, and to support them, we have different data types. So we look at the data types, some of the simple data types, and some of the simple commonly used variables are associated with them in this program. Okay, so I already have a program written over here. The reason why I written this is because when I tried to explain the program by typing it one after the other, it's taking time. So I thought I'll write this up and explain everything. So I have created I opened a a new project, and it's named as 03 underscore simple data types. And I removed in the main program, in the main file, I just removed the printf and hello world statement, the return 0 statement and all, and I've written this lines over here. So let me explain what's happening. First, I have this bit of code line over here. This is actually a multi-line comment. Now, a comment is actually some notes that you would like to leave in the program, so that it will be a reference for yourself to read in the future, or for somebody else who's reading the program. Okay, so if you want to leave some notes to explaining what's happening in a program, or explain something that is written over there for somebody else who's reading to the program, or yours to yourself to see in the future. Okay, comments are very useful. Okay, so whenever a compiler comes across a comment, the comment will be completely ignored while producing the executable files and all. So no, don't worry about it. During the compilation, the comments will be removed while before creating the object files and all. So don't worry about it. The comments are purely for the purely for us to read and understand. So it will be ignored. It will be ignored while during the compilation, so you don't have to worry about it. So whenever you write a program, make sure that you, as a good programming practice, leave as many comments as you can to explain what's happening over there for yourself and for somebody else in the future. Thereby things will become clear. To write a comment, okay, especially a multi-line comment in C, you start with the exclamation, you start with the slash, and then you put a star, and then write all your contents you want, that can span multiple lines, and then close it with a star and a slash, exactly in the reverse order in the which you started a multi-line comment. Okay, and you can also use these symbols to create a single line comment. For instance, this is also a single line comment. Okay, likewise you can also create single line comments with this way. Okay, so just another option, that's another feature that is available. And also, if you want to leave a single line comment, let's say, okay, you can use this. You put two slashes, and whatever you write after two slashes, it will be converted into a comment. Okay, so this is actually another feature available in C. Now let's go to the data types. Okay, first data type that we're going to look at is an integer. An integer is a data type that takes 4 bytes of memory for storage by definition, and this integer data type is actually used for storing numbers with no decimal part, and that's about it. So if you want to store numbers like +5, -26, 0, like that, which does not have any decimal part in them, you can use the integers to store them. So if you want to create an integer variable, you type the keyword int, and then type the variable separated by the comma, and then since this is a statement, you have to end it with a semicolon. So this is actually how you create the integer variables. So you put int in the front, and then variables. Okay, so this line is actually has a different name. It's called as a variable declaration, because here you're creating variables and telling to the compiler that, hey, I'm declaring I1, I2, I3 as variables. Hence you get the name variable declaration. Okay, now if you go for some other data types, okay, sometimes you might come across data types like 12.6, -27, or something like that, which have a decimal part in them. Okay, especially if you're working with finance, now counting money, doing some calculations for scientific engineering purposes and all. Okay, floating, I mean, the numbers with decimal parts are very common. Okay, so those numbers are called as floats, or also called as, sometimes are also called as real numbers. Okay, real numbers, and they occupy 4 bytes of memory, and the data type to create and store those kind of memory variables is called as a float. So to create variables, you just take float, okay, keyword float, and then the variable name f1, f2, f3, so on and so forth. Okay, and sometimes in certain specifically if you're working in scientific computation and some advanced engineering applications, okay, you might be required to have more precision and accuracy, and a large number of your variables need to store a large array of numbers. Larger digits of numbers or larger range of numbers, okay, and even smaller range of numbers. And sometimes in those kind of cases, floats may not be helpful. Okay, and that is when double comes in. Double is exactly the same as that of a float. The only difference is that it occupies 8 bytes of memory when compared to a float, and that's why it gets the name double. And also one more thing is, float, if you store a number in floats, they will have 8 digits of precision, the 8 digits of precision or 8 digits of accuracy, whichever you call it. Whereas double will have, as the name suggests, you guessed it right, twice of it, so it's like 15 digits of precision. So if you had to give a good ballpark estimate, they're usually 7 to 8 digits, and 14 to 16 digits, 14 to 16 digits of precision of accuracy will be received if you use a double. Okay. And the downside is that when compared to floats, doubles take a slightly more time to get processed, so they're slightly slower. On the bright side, doubles are more precise when compared to float. So if you have numbers that you cannot store with float or get approximated while storing in a float, you can store them properly in double. Okay. The next thing is, let's go for characters. Now, a character is actually a variable that can be used to store a single character or a small set of numbers. For instance, if you want to store a number character like alphabets, or just a single number, or some special symbol like at, ampersand, dollar, or something like that, you can use character. Okay. Or if you want to store numbers between -128 to 127, only within that particular range, or any numbers pertaining to that particular range, character variables are very, very useful. Okay. And this is how we do it. You type the word car and then type the variable names like that. Likewise, there is also another variable called as boolean, okay, which helps us, which can be used by us to store true or false values. And this boolean is given by the keyword bool. And you have to write the variables b1, b2, b3, and so on. Okay, you can create like that. The only constraint being is that if you want to use boolean data types, you need to include this library stdbool on the top, and that is why I included this file stdbool on the top. This has definitions as to what a boolean data type means, and also you can use it directly over here. Okay. And in the next video, what I'll be explaining to you all about some of the simple arithmetic operations that you can do with this simple data types. We define some data types over here like int, float, double, character, and bool. In the next video, I'll be talking about these data types, and I'll be explaining them in much more detail. So that's all I have for you guys in this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video where we'll be looking at this program in detail. We'll be continuing the part 2 of this program, and I'll be explaining about all this stuff over here. So till then, take care.